Hello and welcome again to our new task. Define resource requirements and needs. Very few organizations can complete a project using only in-house resources. This means that most organizations need to purchase some resources from outside the organization. The business or project team needs to decide which resources to purchase and how to do that. Resources refers to human resources as well as physical and intangible assets such as equipment, materials, knowledge, and skills. For example, a software development team might need to purchase software licenses, hardware, and the services of a consultant. Here are some tools and techniques that can be used to manage procurement. Plan procurement management. This process involves documenting the project's procurement decisions, specifying the approach, and identifying potential vendors. It also includes selecting sources based on criteria such as qualifications, cost, quality, and constraints. Data gathering and analysis. This involves determining the project's needs, such as the types of resources needed and the quantities required. It can also involve conducting a make or buy analysis to determine whether to purchase a resource or produce it in-house. Make or buy decisions. These decisions concern whether to purchase a resource from an external supplier or produce it in-house. These decisions can have a significant impact on the project's time, cost, and quality. Team communication. Development teams, regardless of whether they are predictive, agile, or hybrid, should regularly discuss the resources they need to complete their work. Through formal and informal processes, such as planning meetings or retrospectives, team leads and/or product owners can identify a list of required resources and make plans to procure them, if necessary. Here are some deliverables and artifacts that can be used to support procurement management. Resource Management Plan. This plan includes protocols for identifying and quantifying team and physical resources needed as well as guidance on how to acquire team and physical resources for the project. Project Budget. This budget lists the items needed for the project as separate line items. It can be used to make procurement decisions. Updated Assumption Log. This log should note the availability, logistics requirements, and location of physical resources as well as the skill sets and availability of team resources. Updated Risk Register. This register should be updated to reflect the risks associated with physical resource availability or other known resource-related risks. It should also note what may happen if the resource is not procured. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team needs to purchase a number of resources to complete the project, including software licenses, hardware, the services of a consultant. The team leader begins by developing a list of all the resources that the team needs. The team leader then conducts a make or buy analysis for each resource to determine whether to purchase it or produce it in-house. The team leader decides to purchase the software licenses and hardware from external suppliers. The team leader also decides to hire a consultant to provide training on a new software development tool. The team leader then develops a procurement plan that outlines how the team will procure the required resources. The procurement plan includes the following information: the type of resource to be procured, the quantity of the resource to be procured, the deadline for procuring the resource, the budget for procuring the resource, the procurement process to be used. The team leader then implements the procurement plan. This involves contacting potential suppliers, obtaining quotes, and negotiating contracts. Once the team leader has procured all of the required resources, the team can begin working on the project. By using a procurement management process, the team leader can ensure that the team has the resources it needs to complete the project on time and within budget. Hello and welcome again to our new task. Plan and manage procurement strategy. In predictive environments, the project manager creates a procurement management plan to support the project's procurement strategy. This means that the project manager develops a plan for how the project will obtain the resources it needs. The procurement strategy is typically developed in collaboration with the organization's procurement department. The project procurement strategy should address coordination of procurement with other project aspects. The procurement strategy should be coordinated with the project's schedule, budget, and other requirements. Timetable for key procurement activities. The procurement strategy should identify the key procurement activities and develop a timetable for completing them. Metrics for contract management. The procurement strategy should identify the metrics that will be used to manage the procurement process and ensure that the project's procurement needs are being met. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team needs to purchase a number of resources to complete the project, including software licenses, hardware, and the services of a consultant. The team leader develops a procurement strategy that outlines how the team will obtain these resources. The procurement strategy includes the following information: the type of resource to be procured, the quantity of the resource to be procured, the deadline for procuring the resource, the budget for procuring the resource, the procurement process to be used. The team leader then coordinates the procurement strategy with the project's schedule, budget, and other requirements. For example, the team leader ensures that the software licenses will be purchased before the team begins development on the mobile app. The team leader also develops a timetable for key procurement activities. For example, the team leader schedules a meeting with potential suppliers to get quotes for the software licenses. Finally, the team leader identifies the metrics that will be used to manage the procurement process and ensure that the project's procurement needs are being met. For example, the team leader tracks the number of vendors that have been contacted, the number of quotes that have been received, and the status of each procurement activity. By following a procurement management process, the team leader can ensure that the team has the resources it needs to complete the project on time and within budget. Here are some additional details about the tools and techniques that can be used to manage procurement. Engage stakeholders. It is important to engage stakeholders in the procurement process, as they can provide valuable input and feedback. Stakeholders may include the project team, customers, suppliers, and other interested parties. Estimating. It is important to estimate the costs, timelines, level of expertise and quality required, and potentially other aspects of a procurement before making a decision. This will help to ensure that the procurement is within the project's budget and schedule. Source selection analysis. This is a process for selecting the best supplier for a given procurement. There are a number of different source selection methods that can be used, such as least cost, qualifications only, quality-based, and quality and cost-based. The best method to use will depend on the specific procurement. Here are some examples of source selection methods. Least cost. This method is used to select the supplier with the lowest price. Qualifications only. This method is used to select the supplier that best meets the required qualifications. Quality-based. This method is used to select the supplier that offers the best quality solution. Quality and cost-based. This method is used to select the supplier that offers the best combination of quality and cost. The project manager should select the source selection method that is most appropriate for the specific procurement and the project's overall goals. Quality and cost-based. This source selection method considers both the quality of the supplier's solution and the cost of the solution. It is typically used when quality is important and there is some uncertainty about the cost of the solution. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new medical device. The team needs to purchase a number of components for the device, including a new type of sensor. The team leader decides to use a quality and cost-based source selection method to select the supplier for the sensor. The team leader considers the following factors when making the decision: the quality of the sensor, the cost of the sensor, the supplier's experience in developing sensors for medical devices, the supplier's ability to deliver the sensor on time and within budget. The team leader selects the supplier that offers the best combination of quality and cost. Sole source. This source selection method is used when there is only one supplier that can provide the required goods or services. Sole source procurement can be used when the supplier has a proprietary product or service. The supplier is the only supplier that can meet the project's requirements. There is an emergency and there is no time to complete the procurement. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team needs to purchase a license for a specialized software development tool. There is only one company that sells the software development tool. Therefore, the team leader decides to use a sole source procurement method to purchase the license. Fixed budget. This source selection method is used when the project has a fixed budget for the procurement. The team leader selects the supplier that offers the best solution within the fixed budget. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team has a fixed budget of $10,000 for the purchase of a new software development tool. The team leader selects the supplier that offers the best software development tool for $10,000 or less. Make or buy analysis. This is a process for determining whether to produce a good or service in-house or purchase it from an external supplier. The decision is based on a number of factors, including cost, quality, time, and risk. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team needs to decide whether to develop the app's back-end servers in-house or purchase them from a cloud computing provider. The team leader conducts a make or buy analysis to determine the best option for the project. The team leader considers the following factors: the cost of developing the servers in-house, the cost of purchasing the servers from a cloud computing provider, the quality of the servers that can be developed in-house, the quality of the servers that can be purchased from a cloud computing provider, the time it will take to develop the servers in-house, the time it will take to purchase the servers from a cloud computing provider, the risk of developing the servers in-house, the risk of purchasing the servers from a cloud computing provider. Based on the make or buy analysis, the team leader decides to purchase the servers from a cloud computing provider. What are the deliverables and artifacts preset here? Procurement or bid documents. These documents are used to solicit bids, quotations, or proposals from interested vendors. They often go by the terms invitation to tender, request for proposal, RFP, request for quotation, RFQ, and others. Source selection criteria. This document identifies the evaluation criteria for bids, quotations, or proposals and identifies how the successful vendor will be selected. Procurement statement of work, SO. The SOW describes the procurement item in sufficient detail to allow prospective sellers to determine eligibility. It is developed from the project scope baseline, defining only the relevant work. Contract types. There are three main types of contracts. Fixed price. The supplier agrees to deliver the goods or services for a fixed price. Cost reimbursable. The supplier is reimbursed for the costs incurred in delivering the goods or services. Time and material. The supplier is paid for the time and materials spent delivering the goods or services. The type of contract that is selected will depend on the specific procurement and the project's overall goals. Hello and welcome again to our new task. Communicate external resource requirements. Project ecosystems normally extend beyond an organization, so effective project leaders include a larger network of stakeholders in their project procurement strategy. This means that project leaders should consider the needs of all stakeholders when making procurement decisions. Stakeholders may include the project team, customers, suppliers, and other interested parties. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team leader meets with the project stakeholders to get their input on the procurement strategy. The stakeholders identify the following needs. The team needs to purchase a license for a new software development tool. The team needs to hire a consultant to provide training on the new software development tool. The team needs to purchase a new server to host the mobile app. The team leader uses this input to develop a procurement strategy. The procurement strategy includes the following steps. 1. Identify the specific goods or services that need to be procured. 2. Develop a statement of work, SO, for each procurement. The SOW should describe the goods or services in detail. 3. Identify potential suppliers and get quotes. 4. Evaluate the quotes and select the best supplier. 5. Negotiate a contract with the selected supplier. There are myriad reasons for needing resources external to a project. Some are gain required or specialist expertise on a temporary or occasional basis. For example, a software development team may need to hire a consultant to help them with a specific task, such as developing a new security feature for the mobile app. Fulfill new requirements. For example, the project's requirements may change, and the team may need to purchase new goods or services to meet the new requirements. Lower cost. For example, the team may be able to find a supplier that can provide the goods or services at a lower cost than the team can produce them in-house. Meet legal or regulatory requirements. For example, the team may need to purchase goods or services that are certified by a regulatory agency. Increase competitive performance. For example, the team may need to purchase new equipment or software to give them a competitive advantage. Learn of better methods or products for potential acquisition. For example, the team may meet with suppliers at trade shows to learn about new products and services that could be beneficial to the project. What are the tools and techniques that we can use here? Communications Management Plan. The project's communications management plan should include provisions for working with vendors or suppliers. This may include periodic progress reports from suppliers, advance notice of potential supplier cost overruns or schedule delays, formal acceptance of the supplier's contract deliverables by the project manager. Negotiation skills. Negotiation skills are essential for successful procurement. Project managers should be able to effectively communicate, listen, make decisions, solve problems, observe, analyze, and find common ground. Organizational Process Assets, OPAs. Procurement processes are likely set by an organization's finance department. Project managers should use these documents, templates, processes, guidelines, approved vendor lists, and bidding platforms when making procurement decisions. What are the deliverables and artifacts preset here? Procurement documents. These documents are used to solicit bids, quotations, or proposals from interested vendors. Examples include invitations to tender, requests for proposal, RFPs, and requests for quotation, RFQs. Procurement Statement of Work, SO. The SOW describes the procurement item in sufficient detail to allow prospective sellers to determine eligibility. It should be used to communicate consistently among potential vendors. For example, a software development team is developing a new mobile app. The team needs to purchase a license for a new software development tool. The team leader develops a SOW for the software development tool license. The SOW includes the following information: the name and version of the software development tool, the features that the software development tool must have, the number of licenses that the team needs, the budget for the software development tool license, the deadline for purchasing the software development tool license. The team leader then sends the SOW to potential suppliers and gets quotes. The team leader evaluates the quotes and selects the best supplier. The team leader then negotiates a contract with the selected supplier. The contract includes all of the terms and conditions of the purchase, including the price, delivery date, and warranty. Once the contract is signed, the team leader places the order for the software development tool license. By following a procurement process, the team leader can ensure that the team has the resources it needs to complete the project on time and within budget. Hello and welcome again to our new task. Solution Delivery Phase. This phase is responsible for the delivery of procured goods or services to the project or organization. It typically includes the following steps. 1. Planning and analysis. The team gathers information about the customer's requirements and the proposed solution. 2. Detailed design. The team develops a detailed plan for implementing the solution. 3. Implementation or installation. The team implements the solution according to the plan. 4. Testing. The team tests the solution to ensure that it meets the customer's requirements. 5. Training. The team provides training to the customer on how to use the solution. 6. Handover. The team formally hands over the solution to the customer. 7. Support and maintenance. The team provides support and maintenance for the solution as needed. For example, a software development team is developing a new mobile app. The team has procured a software development tool license from a vendor. The team begins by planning and analyzing the delivery of the software development tool license. The team identifies the customer's requirements, such as the number of licenses needed and the deadline for delivery. The team then develops a detailed design for implementing the software development tool license. The design includes steps such as downloading and installing the software, creating user accounts, and configuring the software. The team then implements the software development tool license according to the plan. The team downloads and installs the software, creates user accounts, and configures the software. Once the software is installed and configured, the team tests it to ensure that it meets the customer's requirements. The team tests the software to ensure that it can be used to develop the mobile app. The team then provides training to the customer on how to use the software development tool license. The team trains the customer on how to create projects, develop code, and test applications. Finally, the team formally hands over the software development tool license to the customer. The team provides the customer with the software installation files and the license key. The team also provides support and maintenance for the software development tool license as needed. The team helps the customer to resolve any problems that they encounter with the software. What are the tools and techniques that we can use here? Expert judgment. The project manager and the team use their expert judgment to determine when the procured asset needs to be delivered to the project. This decision is made in time with activity sequencing on the timeline, funding or resource availability, or other factors. Negotiation and interpersonal skills. The project manager works with the vendor to ensure a smooth delivery. The contract provides a surety, but effective project leaders prioritize good relationships with stakeholders. Developing a winning solution is all about agreeing upon what is best for all parties involved. Project management plan or product roadmap. The project manager tailors the delivery solution for a procured resource to the project's timeline or release planning, budget, and related activities such as training. What are the deliverables and artifacts preset here? Procurement Statement of Work, SOW. The SOW describes the solution delivery method. Some SOWs are negotiated and finalized in collaboration with the vendor, in which case, the solution delivery method is formally agreed. Agreements. Signed and executed contracts with vendors become part of the project documents. The delivery solution is part of this agreement. Updated work breakdown structure, WBS, or product backlog. The new skill, resource, process, or asset must be integrated into current work, activities, or schedule. For example, a software development team is developing a new mobile app. The team has procured a software development tool license from a vendor. The team updates the project's work breakdown structure, WBS, to include the following tasks: download and install the software development tool. Create user accounts for the software development tool. Configure the software development tool. Test the software development tool. Train the customer on how to use the software development tool. Hand over the software development tool license to the customer. The team also updates the project's product backlog to include the following user stories. As a software developer, I want to be able to download and install the software development tool so that I can start developing the mobile app. As a software developer, I want to be able to create user accounts for the software development tool so that I can log in and start developing the mobile app. As a software developer, I want to be able to configure the software development tool so that it meets my specific needs. As a software developer, I want to be able to test the software development tool to ensure that it is working properly. As a software developer, I want to be trained on how to use the software development tool so that I can use it to develop the mobile app. Hello and welcome again to our new task. Manage suppliers and contracts. External suppliers are important stakeholders, and they can be key assets that add value to the current or future projects. External suppliers can provide a wide range of goods and services that can help organizations to achieve their goals. For example, an external supplier might provide software development services, manufacturing services, or consulting services. An organization's procurement, purchasing, and legal departments should have reliable contract administration expertise, but the project manager or team lead administers the procurement for the project. The procurement department is responsible for developing and managing contracts with external suppliers. However, the project manager or team lead is responsible for administering the procurement for the project. This means that they are responsible for working with the supplier to ensure that the goods or services are delivered on time, within budget, and to the required quality standards. Manage risks and optimize the value and benefit of the engagement. The project manager is responsible for managing the risks associated with the procurement. This includes identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks. The project manager is also responsible for optimizing the value and benefit of the engagement. This means ensuring that the organization is getting the best possible value for money from the supplier. What are the tools and techniques that we can use here? Control procurement's process. This process involves managing procurement relationships, monitoring contract performance, making changes and corrections as appropriate, and closing out contracts. The project manager uses other project management processes to manage the contractual relationship and integrates the coordination of the outputs from these processes into the overall management of the project. For example, a software development team is working on a project to develop a new mobile app. The team has contracted with an external supplier to develop the back end of the app. The project manager is responsible for monitoring the supplier's performance and making sure that the back end of the app is delivered on time, within budget, and to the required quality standards. The project manager also needs to manage the risks associated with the contract. For example, the project manager needs to consider the risk that the supplier might not be able to deliver the back end of the app on time or on budget. Contract management. Depending on organizational policy, a project team may or may not have direct oversight of vendor contracts. However, the project team should be able to supply information to the procurement team, such as performance completion or quality data. Contracts need to include action plans for both positive and negative outcomes, such as payment terms or alternative dispute resolution, arbitration and mediation, and legal claims and entitlements for contract violations, respectively. For example, the project manager for the mobile app development project needs to work with the procurement team to develop a contract with the supplier. The contract should include clear and concise terms and conditions, such as the scope of work, the timeline, the budget, and the quality standards. The contract should also include action plans for both positive and negative outcomes. Engage stakeholders. The project manager should engage with all relevant stakeholders, including the supplier, the procurement team, and the project team. The project manager should communicate with the supplier on a regular basis to ensure that the project is on track and to identify and resolve any potential problems. The project manager should also communicate with the procurement team and the project team to keep them updated on the status of the contract. Communications Management Plan. The Communications Management Plan identifies how, when, why, and what the project will communicate with supplier stakeholders. For example, the Communications Management Plan for the mobile app development project should include a plan for how the project manager will communicate with the supplier. The plan should include the frequency of communication, the methods of communication, and the topics that will be communicated about. Collaboration and empowerment. Agile teams often work alongside vendor team members, sharing information, solving problems, and executing work together. Managing a collaborative working relationship means enabling true and total collaboration and empowering the team to achieve their goals. This setup is sometimes known as a pods approach. For example, the project manager for the mobile app development project may choose to use a pods approach. This would involve the project team working alongside the vendor team members to develop the mobile app. The project manager would need to create a collaborative working environment where the team members feel empowered to achieve their goals. Quality Assurance Plan. This plan assesses the quality control process to ensure that correct information and best practices are used.